Women that have actually given birth before, their cervix, the size of their cervix is bigger because they've gone through childbirth. Remember, the cervix expanded all the way to 10 cm. What's up, beautiful people? Welcome to another exciting episode of Health Savvy with Dr. O. You already know. Yeah. Today I have something really exciting lined up for you, and pretty much this whole discussion actually stemmed from gist to just ordinary gist. I was just with one of my friends, and we're watching a movie, and there was just a scene, and someone just made a comment like, if sanitary pad should finish in this world, or if they decide to stop making sanitary pad in this world, and we're going to be in trouble. And I'm like, really? Is that true? And I thought about it, like, we actually have other alternatives to using sanitary pad, right? But people really don't know about all these alternatives. So I thought to make a video about one of them. I have another video where I talked about different alternatives to using a sanitary pad. You should definitely look out for that. But in this video, I'm just going to be focusing on one of those alternatives that may not be so popular, but it actually exists, and it's a really good one. I'm going to be telling you how to use it. I'm going to tell you the pros, the cons of using it, and then you make the decision yourself if it's something you want to go ahead and keep using. So this is a menstrual cup. Okay, yeah, this is not exactly a menstrual cup, but it's the packet of a menstrual cup. So I'm going to be unboxing it with you guys. Basically, this is the Shoddy menstrual cup. Shoddy menstrual cup. It says it's a set of two, so it comes with two menstrual cups inside, and there are two sizes, small size and the large size. So when you open up the box, there is an instruction manual inside. Very important, because when you're using something for the first time, you need to know how to use it. If you don't have Dr. O there with you, then an instruction manual can help you to know how to use the products. But luckily you have me, so you don't have to worry about that. So this is basically how it comes, and there are two inside it. So there is the large menstrual cup, and there's a small one. So the large menstrual cup is for women that are usually fit for women that are 25 years and above, or women that have given birth before, while the smaller one, or the small menstrual cup, is for 25 years and below, or women that have never given birth. So why the difference for women that have given birth and women that have not given birth? This is because women that have actually given birth before, their cervix, the size of their cervix is bigger because they've gone through childbirth. Remember, the cervix expanded all the way to 10 cm. If you're a labor room regular viewer, you definitely know this. So go and watch labor room. I cannot explain that easily. So basically, their cervix tends to be bigger because it expanded all the way, and it shrunk back to normal size, but not exactly the normal size. It will still be bigger than someone that has never given birth before. So let me open up the pack so you can see the slight difference in diameter of the large cup and the small cup. So you can see this is the small cup and the large cup. The diameters are different. The smaller cup has a smaller diameter. Large cup has a wider diameter to accommodate a wider cervix, post-pregnancy cervix. Mostly for people that gave birth via vaginal delivery. Because if you gave birth via cesarean section, then your cervix size wouldn't really change. So this is what a menstrual cup looks like. Looks like a cup. Small cup that you use to drink water. It has this little small part here that you can use. It helps you to, it serves as a guide for you to pull it out gently. So basically, how do you use this menstrual cup? Oh, I forgot to show you, that's not all that is in the pack. We also have this. It comes with a storage case for you to store your menstrual cup, because menstrual cup is something that is reusable. So unlike a sanitary pad or a tampon where you use it and you throw it away, single use, is disposable, this one is not disposable. It's not single use. You can use it and you reuse it. In fact, you can use it for up to 5 years. So at the end of the day, it's kind of like cost effective. Just buy 1, 2, 3 menstrual cups and you're good to go for your period, right? Another good thing about this menstrual cup is you can use it for up to 12 hours. So unlike a sanitary pad where you might have to change every 3 hours, every 4 hours, or 6 hours max, this one it stays for up to 12 hours. And even if you have a heavy flow, right, you can use it for longer than you would use your regular sanitary pad or tampon. So it will stay and you won't get stained or anything like that. So this is the storage cup. Just keeping it here So very easy. You can carry it around. In this case, just put it in your bag, put it in your purse, put it in your car. No one will even know that you're carrying a menstrual cup. It's a really nice and cute case. So now we're going to talk about how to use it. So first things first, when you want to use a menstrual cup, you need to, like when you are putting any other sanitary product, wash your hands very well with soap and water so that you do not introduce bacteria into your private parts. And then you need to find a comfortable and clean place where you can insert this, because you're going to be putting this into your private parts. So when those two boxes are ticked, now it's time to insert it. So next thing you want to do is you fold the cup so that you can insert it. Remember, it's going into your private part, so you're going to have to fold it so it can enter. So you're going to fold it first like this, and then like this. So you have something that is this small, still a bit bulky though, to be honest. And then you're going to now put this into your private parts. Unfortunately, I cannot demonstrate. So once it's into your private part, make sure you push it as far back up as you can. And once it's in there, it's going to recoil, right? So the idea is that this is going to sit right over your cervix. So your cervix is this round neck of your uterus, so it's the entrance to your womb, and it's round, it's a round soft tissue. So basically this just sits like right below it. It just sits there, sort of like fits there. And then, you know, because the menstrual blood is coming from your womb, your uterus is the one like shedding the blood, right? And it's going to pass through the cervix and going to drop into this cup. So this cup is basically just going to collect all the menstrual blood. And no, don't think that this tiny thing will collect all the blood. No, basically when you're having your period, you don't do more than like 1 teaspoon, 2, 3, 4 teaspoons, you know, that kind of thing needed, depending on your flow, right? So this one can well last you 12 hours, because this is as good as maybe 5, 6, 7 teaspoons or even more, right? I didn't calculate it myself, so I don't know. So basically this is reliable. That's what I'm trying to say. And when you want to remove it, so basically, like I said, it can last up to 12 hours. So you can wait 12 hours before changing it, or you can say, okay, let me change it a bit more frequently. Let me do 8 hours or something like that, and then you change. But when you want to remove it, you basically insert your hand and look for this rubber part and gently pull it out, right? Now, one of the bad or downsides about this is that when you're inserting it, right, it can be a bit messy, because you can imagine you're already on your period, you're already bleeding, and you're trying to put this rubber thing inside, so it's not absorbent, so it can be a bit messy on your hands and your fingers and all that. And when you're removing it, it could be messy as well, because remember that there's nothing absorbing the menstrual blood that is dropping here, so you're basically carrying a cup of menstrual blood. So if when you're removing it, you're not careful, it can spill. That will just create a mess in your toilet, in your bathroom, or wherever. So you want to be careful when you are taking this out, right? So you don't make a mess. And so basically the advice is just rinse in between use, or wash with warm water and soap. So basically before the first use, you have to sterilize it. And how do you sterilize it? You can boil this cup in warm water, right? Boil it for about 5 minutes, so the heat will kill all the bacteria, and then you can now use it for the first time. But in between uses, like for this cup now, you can decide, oh, I want to have just 2 menstrual cups, or even just this one, right? So if you remove it, you basically drain it, wash it with soap and warm water, and put it back. Although that doesn't sound very hygienic, I personally would prefer to sterilize it in between each use. That sounds like a better plan. So you can plan to have like 2 or 3 so that you can sterilize them in between each use. What are the downsides of this menstrual cup? First of all, cost can be pretty expensive. Like depending on the brand, this one costs about, was it $20 or $25, right? That's about, how much in Naira now? That can be up to 4 or 5K just for menstrual cup, right? But when you look at it this way, by the time I buy 2 or 3 of these to use for my period, right, I'm only going to use maybe 1 a day or 2 a day, and I'll be sterilizing it and changing. So I only need like 3 in my whole period, right? I'm never going to buy it. After buying that 3, I can use it for up to 5 years. So I have these 3 or 4 cups for up to 5 years. So which means if I spend $20 on each, so let's say I buy 3 or 4, let's say I buy 4, I have $80, right, that I spent on this cup, and that $80 is going to last me for 5 years. But imagine that you have to buy a sanitary pad that costs like $5 or $10, right? That $10, every period you're buying a new pack of sanitary pad. So imagine that in a year you spent like $120 on sanitary pad. In 5 years, how much would you have spent? So on the long run, this is a good investment. Like if you want to talk about cost. If you're that kind of person that looks at your costs and like to save a lot, this is a good investment on the long run. So basically, the pros of this menstrual cup is that it's reusable. So it's not like you throw it away. You can use it and use it and use it for 5 years, like I said. It's also comfortable. So when you wear it, if it's inserted well, you actually forget it's there, like you don't feel it's there, which is another good thing. And on the long run, it's cost effective. But the downside of it is that, number one, it can be difficult to insert, it can be difficult to remove, having to do like balancing game so you don't spill the blood and make a mess. It can be difficult to insert because it's kind of bulky. Even after folding it, it's still a bit bulky, so that can be difficult. And then trying to put it in the right place after you've inserted it, that can just be a lot of work. And another thing about it is that it can be messy. So inserting it is messy, removing it is messy. I don't know if you really want to deal with all that drama. So it's really up to you. Now you know the pros, you know the cons, you know all about a menstrual cup. Tell me, is this something you consider using? For people that already use it, tell me, what's your experience like? Is it really reliable? Do you like it? Do you enjoy it? Do you actually prefer it to sanitary pads, tampons, and other alternatives? Like, would you recommend this for a friend? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, what are you waiting for? Please subscribe and share this video with anyone you think might need to see this. Always remember, a healthy you is a happy you. See you next week.